The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. There are places up ahead far worse than this. Don't get distracted by all the destruction you can see this time of day. That's the leftover you're looking for. That's just awful. Watch your step around here. The world is so much smaller underground. He says that's enough to get the MkTon functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device so the MkTon can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the MkTon, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. It's a little feisty and tough critter, a perfect fit for a live ammunition, if you ask him. How many days like this do you think the world has left? The grease monkey's MkTon is built sturdy, just like himself. Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. It's not getting any brighter. This won't last, so enjoy the ride.
Potse. In mo. Diava. Darin mianda kaguno.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Sirka full of in the horse.
Says he's a monster haunter. The best you'll ever see.
Waxan nach Kale Zegi?
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Goga.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Why ad foodlea haya?
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care.
Hose eskuko Johanna.
It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss.
Owaxu
Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like.
Segaya Lama Yaba.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Tarinman.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights, and they keep putting up new ones.
Tarinman.
Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther. But enough of that, right?
Tarimaya.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Tarimaya.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output.
Tudu Baba.
Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short.
Mashako Hirsave.
Thinks that it all hangs on the tree of life. When it started to fail, everything changed.
Munteo Mastula.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter.
Khalifav Cairo.
Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Badayan Analove.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Badayan Analove.
Thinks you have bigger issues than your so-called haunting skills if you're going to nitpick on his grammar.
Ja,
Moog says you should go hunt for squips in the cave he gave you directions to. Let's see. Save your energy. See what this thing can do. Wait, it's the script roll-up. The place is just filled with critters. Are your lungs aching? Playtime is over. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. This MkTon knows how to move. Looks like you do too. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? You need to line up the switches so they match. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. The dark time's finishing for now.
뭐냐? Sit up. 뭐냐? Let's go.
He says that's enough scrips to sustain the MkTon's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. That's the special weapon he made to store the scrips in the MkTon. It will be strong enough to launch them at the Jumbo Puff. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time it's different. The MkTon will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. There's time to improve the MkTon before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the MkTon with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the MkTon on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can.
Speed Sprat Pigs.
Has plenty to do, so no worries.